YouTube, what's going on? Welcome back to another video. This video is actually super last minute, only because the original video that I wanted to do was actually postponed because of bad weather. I was going to show you behind the scenes of some content I was going to create for Carlo. We were going to meet up at a location, obviously maintaining social distancing measures like the guidelines, but we were going to meet up and then it ended up raining, so I had to reschedule that video. It's probably going to come out next week. But I decided to do this one. This one may not come in handy until probably next year because it has to do with traveling. Today's video is on what to pack as a photographer / videographer when you travel. Okay, so when you're traveling, you want to travel light, you want to be as compact as possible, and you want to carry the least amount of things as possible. So everything's obviously got to go into a backpack. The first thing we're going to start off with is this low pro backpack. The model is the Explorer Fastpack BP 250 AW2. I actually got this backpack at Henry's Camera. It was on sale for 99 bucks. It's now retailing for 130 bucks on the Low Pro website, and that is Canadian. The bag itself comes with a laptop sleeve. It comes with 2 zipper compartments, one just in the front and one inside that has holders for batteries, holders for a mouse if you want, another zipper battery compartment, and just basic storage needs. It also has a side compartment for a water bottle, or you can stick your tripod in there. It has what I like to call a dedicated battery space area where you can put your batteries and your charger. And then you have the side zip-off area compartment for your camera where you can put your lenses, your camera bodies, and there's also a sleeve in here for SD cards. The bag also contains a waist strap that makes it easier when you're traveling if you have to go hiking. The waist strap when traveling and doing long walks comes super handy. I know a lot of people don't use the waist straps, but I love the extra support just because my back does hurt. The next item we have is a PhotoPro C40i tripod, a nice small tripod. I also bought this at Henry's Camera. This tripod was $150, I believe, when I bought it. I can't remember. I actually bought this in 2017 when I went on my Italy trip. But this thing is perfect if you want to take it traveling. It's nice and light, nice and small, nice and compact. It folds right up. It actually goes right inside the sleeve of my bag. It has a capability to turn into a monopod, which I haven't done, but it actually does extend pretty high, probably about 5 feet high. It contains a liquid ball head, so you're capable of shooting portraits as well as landscapes with this. You can tilt this over. The only downfall of this so far is that it does move sometimes if there's heavy wind, and depending on what camera you have on it. This knob actually wears out eventually, so this rubber sleeve that for the grip around it has worn out over time. But for a starting tripod, if you're not going too crazy with it, I think this is a perfect tripod. I actually used this tripod for a long time because I was too cheap to buy another tripod, but I ended up getting a nice cheap newer tripod for my cinematic stuff, for my heavier video shoots. So yeah, nice perfect tripod for that. Next, when traveling, you guys have to edit. So when you have to edit, you need a laptop. I haven't traveled with this yet. This is the 2019 16-inch MacBook Pro. It's about a mid-tier MacBook Pro. I didn't get the top-notch one. I did get the mid-tier. This thing is perfect. The only downfall is you're gonna have to pack a lot of accessories and dongles with this because of the USB Type-C. Most of my external hard drives are USB, the regular USB Type A, and not C. I'm slowly moving to C. I do have SSD drives for C. I still use a Type A USB for my traveling. So I do have to buy the accessories in order to make it compatible with this computer to work. This thing pushes a lot of power. I'm not going to get into the specs. If you guys want, you can look it up. I can actually put the specs below. I'll put the specs below. Especially when it comes to video and photo software, this thing is a beast. Okay, I need a water break. Oh. Next, we have the Lacy Rugged 2 terabyte hard drive. This is the USB Type A version. The cheaper version, I got it, when did I get it? I got it last year when I went to Spain. I needed something that was rugged, that was durable. When you're traveling, things tend to get tossed around, so this does come in handy 100%. The alternative to this is SSD drives. You just don't get as much storage. A cheap alternative to storage would be this Lacy Rugged. It's pretty much a premium of $20 to $40 to a regular external hard drive just because of the protection. This thing can withstand 1 ton of pressure. And based on my past experience in the past where I did drop a hard drive, I thought it was well worth the investment for this. So highly recommend getting one of these if you're traveling. This is all you need, 2 TB. I don't think you're gonna go over 2 TB unless you're pushing like a camera that does cinema quality, which could be a problem. Then you'll probably wanna get a few of these. The camera that I bring traveling is the Canon EOS 80D, this beauty right here. This is the first professional camera that I've ever owned. Haven't switched yet, other than I've purchased new cameras, but I haven't switched in terms of DSLR. This thing has treated me so well. This thing is perfect for vlogging. If you're traveling and vlogging, it takes good photos. It shoots 1080p, 60 frames per second, max quality. In terms of photos, it's got a 24 megapixel sensor. It's an APS Type-C crop, so it's not as good as a full frame, but it does the trick. It is a little bit smaller files, smaller photos. Beautiful little camera, haven't switched. I think in the future, I'm probably gonna go for a mirrorless. Looking at the Canon R5, we'll see when that comes out how much it is. But if it is affordable, I will definitely be taking a look at that. This thing, like I said, this thing is treating me well. It's taken a lot of beatings. It fits both type EFS lenses as well as EF lenses, as most of you camera users know. This thing's been awesome. I tend to bring this over the Blackmagic Pocket Cinema camera because I feel like the Blackmagic Pocket Cinema camera has to have more of a controlled environment. It's got the vents in it, it's more open, and I don't want to get any dirt and sand into it. I definitely would love to bring that on a trip, but now we're looking at more storage for files. I only have the 2 TB Lacy Rugged hard drive right now, so this has been doing the trick. This is my go-to when I travel. It's definitely this camera. And this is all I needed is for vlogs and just travel portions of the vlog. Next we have lenses. I tend to bring only 2 lenses with me. I bring my 24 EFS with me just because it is one of the wider lenses that I have. The Tamron 24-70 G2DI VC is cropped because it is a full frame. This is the EFS version, so it is to scale with my camera, with my APS Type-C sensor. So I tend to bring this one just if I have to vlog and I don't want to carry a heavy lens around with me. I bring this one. I do have a 50mm that I sometimes bring, but that's a full frame, so it's not actually a 50mm. I do bring that the odd time. Actually, we'll pull it out. This is a sometimes lens. This is the Canon EF 50mm with the 1.8 aperture. This thing, the Nifty 50, is honestly, it works wonders. This thing, if you're trying to get a nice portrait shot, this thing is nice and light and it does the job. It's super sharp. I actually dropped it one time when I was shooting a video with Peter in a parking lot, but I'd say this is a lens that you want to get best bang for its buck because it's light, it's super cheap. This was $180 and you can't beat the sharpness on it. For portraits, it's perfect. This comes with me sometimes, but if I really want to keep light, like if I'm going to Europe, then I probably won't bring it. I'm gonna have to switch lenses for this because the lens that I actually bring traveling is on this camera right now. Okay guys, sorry for the change of the field of view. I actually had to take the lens off the camera because the lens that I actually bring traveling is this one. It's the SP24-70 DI-VC lens from Tamron, the G2 version. This thing is an absolute beast, probably my favorite lens that I own. I don't have too many expensive lenses. This is my most expensive, my pride and joy. The most versatile lens that I have for sure, other than my 18-01-35, but this one does have a lower aperture. This has a 2.8 aperture, which is good in low light, and it works on the Canon 80D. It is a little bit cropped in for the Canon 80D, but the sharpness on this is absolutely crazy compared to the 18-01-35 kit lens that came with the camera. But I must say that this does the trick. I brought this with me to Spain. All my Spain videos were shot with this and with the Canon 80D. So yeah, it works wonders. Nice telescopic grip. The focus ring is nice and smooth. Haven't had any problems with the mechanics in this one. Lately there's been a focusing issue, unless it's just me, maybe I'm losing my mind. Love this lens. It was recommended to me once again by Henry's Camera. So shout out to Henry's for that one. This does come with autofocus, manual focus, and it does come with vibration control. That's what the VZ stands for in the lens. So this is a nice lens to use and my favorite to use when traveling. Next we have the batteries for the Canon 80D. These batteries are the LPE6 batteries, and I do have one LPE6N battery. I don't know if it's one of these ones or the one that's in the camera right now. Definitely bringing all my batteries when it comes to traveling. You can never get enough batteries when traveling. Along with the charger for it, always got to bring that. If you guys forget a charger, you're pretty much screwed. The only bonus is if you do forget your charger, that you can, like say you're in Europe, you can find a shop locally that has the European plug. But still, I'd just bring your charger, because then you're gonna run into less headaches. In the past, I've used the VideoMic mic from Rode. This thing has done me well. I've had no issues with it. It hasn't broken yet. The only thing I find is that this sleeve comes off a little bit. I guess, I don't know what you want to call this, the poofer, the wind buffer comes off a little bit. I use this for vlogs daily when I'm outside. Like I said, does the job. It does look a little bit ridiculous when you're walking around with this. It looks like a little animals on your camera, but for 80 bucks, it was the cheapest mic at the time. I got it when I started vlogging, and I've still stuck with it to this day. It's served me well. Highly recommend getting one of these if you're starting off. Another alternative to audio I could use is these wireless Go mics from Rode. Haven't used them yet for traveling, but maybe I will in the future. You guys let me know what you think. Usually I like using the shotgun mic. I don't even like really using these for these videos. It's just there's a lot of sound in my house, so I try to use this because it's more condensed than this mic. This mic picks up a little bit more because it's further distance away. But yeah, next time I'll probably be using the VideoMic Pros. These things are awesome if you're doing interview shots like this, but I highly recommend getting a lav mic for this, which I will in the future. And it's also actually good if you're in busy streets because you can pick up more of the person's voice as opposed to the surroundings. So maybe I will be using these in the future. So when you're vlogging, you obviously need something to hold the camera in place so you can face it towards yourself instead of holding the camera all weird in front of you. And my alternative, as every vlogger's alternative is the Joby Gorillapod. This is the Joby Gorillapod 3K. I bought this a long time ago as well. I think this was three years ago I bought this. I'm starting to hate this thing because the legs are really flimsy. Like if I put a heavy lens, if I put my Tamron 24-70 on this with my Canon 80D, it does tend to fall over a little bit more. I have to make sure it's super sturdy before I even place it down. And that might be just because of the wear over time of the legs. But all in all, it does a good job. It's good to have when you're holding and facing the camera towards yourself, and you can put this around trees. There's an easy quick plate release right here, so if you want, you can click it on and click it off nice and quick with your camera. There's also another fluid ball head on here, which is perfect if you want to put this on angles. But with, like I said, with a heavy lens, this probably wouldn't work the best because if you're trying to put this down with the camera vertical, it will end up tipping over. But yeah, that's my alternative for now. Looking at another alternative for this, I haven't picked anything up yet, but I will be in the future for sure. This I normally don't bring, but it's something I might bring in the future. It is a flash for your camera. So this is the Godox TT685C. I bought it because I had an issue with photo shoots at actually a shower one time, and I thought to myself, I have to get a flash because the flash on my camera wasn't working too good and it was too strong to use on people. So this would be a good item to have if you're taking shots in the dark and you don't have a lens that's capable of shooting it with low aperture, or a camera that isn't good in low light. I would highly recommend getting a cheap flash at least. This one I believe was $120 if I'm not mistaken. Again, the Godox TT685C works for me. I haven't had any issues with it. It's been pretty awesome. The odd time it does miss a photo when it's reading and writing pretty quick, but it's good enough. It comes with this nice compact case, and it does require 4 AA batteries. Okay, the next camera that we have is the Hero 4 by the GoPro. It's an action camera. I tend to use this in dirtier environments, more so like if I'm on the beach in sand. The last time I actually used this traveling was in Spain. I took it on our last location to Valencia on the beach there. This thing comes in handy, especially when you want to keep a more compact and small, I guess, video recording kit on traveling. So I didn't want to bring my full camera, so I ended up bringing this and filming most of our views at the beach with this. It's good against sand. It can go in the water, and it's small and compact. The max resolution for this is 4K at 15 frames per second, which doesn't really come in handy. So at 2.7K, it shoots 30 frames per second, which comes in handy when shooting high quality video. It shoots 48 frames, a max of 48 frames per second in 1440p, and it shoots a max of 60 frames per second in 1080p, which comes in handy. 12 megapixel camera, so not the best for pictures, but if you want to take a picture underwater, this should do the trick. Just gotta make sure that the lighting's proper and that your settings are set enough. This thing does not do well in low light. I tend to use this only during the daytime. I don't tend to use this at night. So it does shoot some high quality video. I would say that the video, just because of how old this is, it doesn't come out as crisp as the newer GoPros. I eventually want to upgrade to the Insta1R that just came out. That's my next camera that I want to get in terms of action cam and capability to shoot 360. So I'll probably end up moving to that eventually, but for now I shoot with this. And last but not least, we do have the final item for the travel kit. It is the DJI Mavic Air, the original Mavic Air. Now, I know the Mavic Air 2 just got released a few weeks ago. This I actually haven't flown since my last vacation, which was to Spain. That was the last time I actually flew this. The day that I actually came back from Spain was the day that Canada implemented people with drones had to have licenses. So I actually haven't flown this since my Spain trip. I'm actually really sad that I haven't been able to fly this. One of my items on my checklist while I'm in isolation is to get my drone's license. This could be potentially upgraded in the future to the Mavic Air 2. Obviously, I didn't get to use this to its full potential because I've probably only really flown this under 20 times since I've had it, and that's been in the last year and a half, 2 years. So I really want to use this way more. This was almost $1,000. So the good thing about this unit is it has a nice compact controller. It folds in and it also stores the joysticks within the controller, so nothing sticks out. You can screw them right into the section where the joysticks are supposed to go. I really like this controller because, like I said, of its compactness and how small it gets. And also this little case where the drone comes into. The footprint of this case is the biggest that this package will get. So when you're storing this in your bag, this is all you have to worry about. This size plus the controller mounted to the back and the sleeve here. So that's why I love the Mavic Air, is because it's so tiny, it's so small, it's compact, and I can throw it right in my bag. This thing fit right in my bag perfect. More of the other drones from DJI are larger, and even the new Mavic Air 2 is larger, so we'll see how people deal with that in terms of storage, but nothing will actually ever beat the compactness and storage of this for the quality of video that actually comes out of the camera. So this drone actually shoots up to 4K 30 frames per second, which isn't too bad. The quality is pretty good in 4K, and it shoots up to 120 frames per second in 1080p. It's got a 12 megapixel sensor for the camera, so for pictures, it's okay, it's not too bad. I've taken very little pictures with this thing. I've taken more video than anything, but if you guys want to check out, if you go to my Instagram, there is a picture that I took while I was up in Algonquin Park of the trees, and it actually came out very beautiful. The color captures is pretty good. And yeah, this is, like I said, tiny, compact, and the only downfall with this is I find the battery life isn't the greatest. It's 21 minutes compared to the new one at 34 minutes, and the signal from the controller to the actual drone itself is the Wi-Fi signal as opposed to the radio signal. So they've improved on that within the new one, which is awesome. In terms of batteries, I have 2 Mavic Air batteries. Each is capable of 21 minutes of flight time. So in total, I have 42 minutes of flight time roughly. And in extension to the batteries, I've actually bought a fireproof bag for the batteries that I can store my batteries in during flights. Some airlines are strict on their rules in regards to carrying batteries on your carry-on, so I did end up getting this bag for it, this fireproof bag for it, just as an extra precaution. If I ever get stopped at the border or anything for security purposes, I do have this. And you're supposed to drain your batteries to 0.5%. Most airlines have a guideline where they do not want your batteries to be over 50% charged, so make sure when you guys travel that you only charge your batteries up to 50% or drain your batteries so they're at 50%. Like I said before, the next time that I'll probably fly this drone is either on a vacation or if I end up getting my license prior to my next vacation. That's one of the things that I have on my checklist while I'm in isolation, is to get my drone license, both my beginners and advanced. And I'm actually really excited to do that. I've just been nervous to actually take on that test and to see what it's all about. But it's only like $5 a test, so even if I do it 4 or 5 times, I'm okay with that. I've just been putting off the license way too long, and I really want to fly this. I want to get my use out of this. And I really want to get more into drone photography and videography. Okay guys, thanks for everything. I really appreciate you guys watching my videos. Sorry this one was a little bit last minute. Like I said, last minute changes to the video because of weather complications, and I do work full time, keep that in mind. So for me, I have to do all this after hours, along with COVID, along with working out after hours. It's a struggle, but I'm trying my best to push out videos every week. Thanks for watching guys. If you guys have any questions or comments, leave the comments below. Hit the bell for notifications for when my videos are posted, and subscribe if you haven't subscribed yet. I really want to get my following up. If you guys have any recommendations of what I can do to improve my videos, I welcome nice, warm-hearted recommendations. Don't be too mean to me, you know, because we're trying to stay anti-bullying, anti-social media bullying online. So Thanks for watching. We'll see you guys next video.
Peace.